So LeBron James posted on his Instagram the other day a photo of him on like an exercise bike, and he's reading a book on the exercise bike. The book is about Malcolm X. So he's asked at a media session yesterday for his takeaways on the book he's reading about Malcolm X. And listen to this ramble from King James about this book that he claims to be reading.
I kind of just started a couple days ago, but I've read and a lot of notes over the years. It's my first time actually reading this from start to finish. But just a very smart man, very, very, very smart man, and basically his words in the 60s and what was going on is actually what's going on today still.
Oh, my God. I mean, that's like when your professor calls on you during the first day of class to describe the summer reading that you didn't get past the second page on. I mean, we've all been there. But LeBron, my God, you brought the book to the press conference after you posted an Instagram of you reading it, and that's your answer? I mean, listen, I have BS'd a lot of things in school in my life, so I've been there, LeBron. But, I mean, that was classic. I don't know anything about what I'm reading. I'm just pretending like I'm reading it, so let me give you some cliched answer. That's what that was for LeBron James. Johnny, you're not a school guy, so
yeah.
You've been there many times, as have I. That was classic. I'm going to be honest. I don't know, but I'm going to say something because I have to say something to the teacher that asked me the question.
It's almost like he didn't expect them to ask him about the book in his hand.
He's holding the book. He posted about the book on Instagram. It's a Malcolm X book, and
with all the time in the bubble, he could have read the book.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron loves to just post pictures of him doing stuff that he's not actually doing. Like, someone started a Twitter thread of examples of LeBron reading books, and he's conveniently always on the first page of the book and all the pictures.
I've seen that. Every one of them was first page.
I mean, what are we doing? I mean, he brought the book to the press conference after posting a photo on Instagram of him reading the book. What does he expect? Not get asked about it? So here's the question I have based off of what we just heard there from LeBron. What is the biggest thing you've ever had to BS in your life? Could be school-related, could be a life example. I'll give you one that I did. So everyone who listens to this show is probably like, oh, Jake sounds like a broadcaster. Well, I am a talk show host. But here's the thing. When you're in college and you're studying to be a broadcaster, you're in the communication school. So my major was television radio. But in addition to taking classes for my major, there were some non-major required classes you have to take, right? Your general eds, your gen eds, I think they're called in college. So the way my college worked, so I went to Ithaca College in upstate New York. And, one of the requirements was to, hit a certain threshold of like basic sciences you had to take. So for whatever reason, I never had any luck with registering for this one class I needed to take. It was one of the sciences that was required. It was called the Quest for Sustainability or something sustainability. It was like an environment class. Like, I don't know, global warming is bad, all that good stuff, all right? I wanted to be a sports broadcaster, so you can imagine I didn't really love, being in a, environment sustainability class. So I never could register for it. It is a freshman-level class, but I could not get in. I'm a senior, second semester senior, and I go to my advisor. I'm like, look, you got to rig the system because I just can't get in. Like, I had no luck. They would fill up. They would only offer, one section of it. So I'm taking this class as a second semester senior. I'm going to be honest, didn't really try too hard in it. The final assignment, I was taking a pass-fail, by the way, so I just showed up and did whatever. The final assignment was to, come up with, an environmental idea and present it to the class and be creative with it. I know nothing about the environment. But what I did was I did a Quest for Sustainability radio show where I pre-taped a radio show.
Brilliant.
Had my friends serve as callers as if I was doing a sports radio show, but talking about, topics not about LeBron James, but about global warming and fixing the environment.
That's clever,
so
man.
I just made it up as I went along. But because I put time into it, and because I had, my friends calling up as Jim in Nebraska wants to talk about the waterfalls and the environment, I got an A on it. And my info was wrong. But because my professor who didn't know anything about radio was like, wow, this must have took you years to do. How did you go into a studio and record a whole show? Meanwhile, it took 30 minutes. Got an A in it, though. That's called BSing.